Okay, for everybody in William Hegmann's course, we're going to show you how to move all of your leads out of another CRM and go through EngageMore instead, and then hook them up to Smart Alto. So I'm actually some kind person provided his account for me to use this and show you how to do this. So what I did is I went into his first ad. I'm not going to shut it off yet because we're just getting used to doing this. So what I did was I took this and I hit copy, right? And when I hit copy, I got a whole copy of it down here. So this is the one I'm messing with, okay? So what we're going to do, actually, you know what? I'm going to do it again one more time because I already took a step ahead and lost you guys. So I'm going to go here, the list of homes, and we're going to go copy, all right? And then from here, we're going to just click on this, right? So it made a complete copy of what you had set up in here. In this case, he was using LionDesk for his CRM. So basically what we're going to do is remove this one from the setup. Okay, so we're just going to go here and hit delete on this middle LionDesk and get it out. Really delete. We're going to hit it twice. Okay. In the middle here, we're going to put in the webhook by Zapier. Okay, and then so what we're going to do is get the webhook that we have ready over in our EngageMore account. So we're going to go over to our account EngageMore. So let's go find it. We're over into this account, and what we want to do is a Facebook ad, right? So what we want to do is make sure we've got a campaign set up to go for whatever the offer of this ad is. In this case, it's a list of homes, and in his case, it's a list of homes in Atlanta. So it's pretty generic. So we want to be sure that we have a list of homes in Atlanta ready to send out to the consumers when they sign up, right? So our goal is, if you're doing, maybe you do 3 different ads and you do Atlanta, or maybe you're just going to say North Atlanta and then you do another one for South Atlanta or whatever. You want to have 3 different campaigns set up if you're going to have 3 different ads running. Okay, so what we're going to do is go over to the drip flows. And in this case, we're going to go down to the flow for, it's a buyer. So we're going to go to the buyer campaigns, and we're going to find the Facebook ad. So there's the Facebook one. What I prefer you do is not use this one. As actually, I'd rather see you copy it, right? So let's go ahead and make a copy of it. And then for one, you're not messing that one up in case you want to use it later, but we can then just come down here and work with this one. So this one's just a list of the homes in Atlanta. So immediately when you do that, you want to come in and rename what this ad is. Okay, so this is a buyer ad, Facebook, and we can go Atlanta LOH, which is what they've called it. And I'm going to just put Atlanta on here so we know. You don't have to leave the 12-month on here, but it's up to you. You know these are all 12 months. Okay, so now I've got Facebook list of homes Atlanta. Okay, now I recommend that you do be sure you give the people what they signed up to get. So that means that very first email that's going out of the system, which is right here, is going to hopefully say, let's go over and actually look at it so you know what it looks like. So its template is pulling from the specific lead source template. So we're going to go down to lead source specific templates, right? It's pulling from here. So if we're going to make this specific just for the Atlanta list, right, then we want to be sure that this has something in it specific to Atlanta. So what I would do, and if you only work Atlanta, you could just take this particular email and use it. But if you are planning on doing other things, you might want to clone it and make one specific. So I'm going to say, this says Facebook home buyer info. I would, you could say that. You could say Atlanta home buyer info at this point if you want to, right? It's a Facebook ad, but I might go Atlanta home buyer info you requested. So we could say in Facebook if we want to, but anyway, I want to just rename this buyer Facebook new lead, and I'm just going to say all Atlanta area. So we're making sure we know what this one is going to change to. Okay, I'm going to hit save really quick because it won't rename correctly if I go off and start doing other stuff. So then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to hit edit the content designer. And we're going to just reference Atlanta in the email because we want it to be really specific. This is why the people want to keep talking to us, because we're not doing some generic email, right? So let's click on the settings and we'll slide this in a little bit. So thanks so much for requesting the home buying information through my Facebook page. Okay, so this is generic, obviously, because I didn't know what your ads were all going to be. So I'm suggesting that you come in and put something more specific. Thanks so much for requesting Atlanta, a list let's see, a list of Atlanta. Oh, geez, Atlanta, it's getting late. Atlanta homes for sale, right? So, right, on Facebook, right? Mention Facebook because they might be on Zillow too, right? On Facebook. Below is a link to the information you requested. Okay, so what this means is, I'm not going to change anything else in this letter, by the way. This is all I'm doing. Now, what this means now is I'm going to go down into this button, view local market sales, right? So I would probably say here, because you got to remember, these were all written generically, but they could still be used and not touched. But we want to make it a little bit more specific because that's why we're going to be better than every other agent out there who is doing this exact same thing. So we're going to go on a new, let's see, Atlanta homes for sale, right? Now, over here, this is where it's key. It's pulling in from your profile, your website, okay? I don't necessarily recommend you send them straight over to your website. I recommend you go into your website and you run a search or create a page specifically for it on the back end. And if you create a page, because this isn't my account, I don't have a website in Atlanta, but I'm just giving you training here. What you want to do is you really do want to ideally go and build a page up specifically for whatever your offer is and add your tags and the things, the searches that people would do, right? So you need to know about how to use your website. In future trainings, we'll put some more information about how to create your pages, just as an example, right? But ideally, that would be the ticket. In the meantime, if you can't do that or you don't want to do that, you can just go to your website and run a search specific, like you were a consumer, for the list of homes in Atlanta. Okay, now I don't have an Atlanta website, and unfortunately this gentleman is still working to get his site up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just go to my site and show you what I would do. Now I'm in Arizona, obviously I'm not going to do this, but I would go to my site right now, and if this was an ad for Scottsdale, I would be going here and running a search for that ad, right? So if I was offering a list of homes in Scottsdale, I would run it, I would just run the search and then I would have the, oops, something's going on here. Let me try this again. I got to just run a search for Scottsdale. Okay, I actually have to put in the city. I got to click on it. Okay. So that I get some results. Now, if I was running an ad in a certain price range, which some of us do, you would want to make sure that you're also adding the price range in here or whatever. So let's say this list is everything under, or everything between, well, let's say it's everything under 600,000 in Scottsdale, right? So now I'm going to see the listings, and what's happening is that I'm getting a search that's set up here in the URL that's specific to this search, and most of our sites will give you this. You're going to grab this link right here, right? Now in his case, it's all of Atlanta. So realistically, he could probably just come in here and run a search for everything in Atlanta. Now, I would also trim this down to condo or get the condos out if you're offering houses, right? So whatever your world is. All right, now I'm taking that URL link that I just copied and I'm going back over to my campaign and I'm going to plug it in right here. Okay, that's where I'm going to put it. So I'm not going to do this here, but that's where I'm going to put it. Okay. So it is pulling from your profile. So if you don't want to use whatever in your profile or you want to send them to a page specific, just get it in here, okay? Now everything else is fine. I'm just going to go ahead and save this. I might also want to, I like the settings out so the email's a little bit wider when it shows up, so I like to do that. But this is really all you're doing, right? You're just making this a little bit more fine-tuned. Okay, save your changes, right? Now we're done editing this. The next thing you might want to do is watch the videos on intelligent links. So I might want to add an intelligent link here to say that it's a click flow notice. So I want to be notified when someone clicks on that now, and it's going to be the click flow to the website. So we're going to go down to the click flows for the website. and pick out website on this. All right, close it. Okay, it's now you've got this intelligent link that you're going to be able to track out at the home site. Why do we do this? Because that's a hot buying sign. We know people are clicking on our links, okay? And this is just telling us exactly what link they're clicking on. There is already a search out at the home page for this, okay? So I edited this. Now, because I edited this one, this is the one that we want to be sure and add to the flow because we cloned the flow. Well, actually, since we cloned the flow, that campaign already had it in. Here's the one. It should be the exact same email in here because we didn't create a new email. Otherwise, I'd say create a new email. See what happened? It pulled in the content from that, right? Now, again, if you're going to do 2 other ads in Facebook for buyers and you want to take this one and clone it and replace it with a new email that is specific to the offer, okay? And then this just says the text is fine. I mean, you could edit it. Thanks so much for registering home for information on my Facebook page. I might say at this point, I want to allow editing and just say, thanks for registering for a list of Atlanta homes for sale, okay? I got to get better glasses because I can't see. Atlanta homes for sale, okay? So we're just getting a little more specific on Facebook. On Facebook, right? You can take page out, okay? Are you looking to purchase soon or just browsing? Now, at this point, you could say, I'm sending you the list via email. You know, I'm trying to get a response, and for that reason, I'm actually going to take the website out because you're going to get people click on it and then they might not write you back. So again, this is a choice you make. This was built just to get you started, but it's a choice you make at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and save on this. Let's see if we can get a response from them, okay? You could say, you know what I might say? Let's do this. Let's say the list is on its way to your inbox. Let's add that, okay? The list is on its way to your inbox, okay? You could say email inbox, okay? I'm assuming they're going to know what it means. Are you looking to purchase soon or just browsing? We always are asking questions, okay? The rest of this is fine. What's going to happen is tomorrow, although he doesn't have a website, so he's going to have to get in here and get this or take this out. But all the rest of these emails are going to have that button in there that's going to pull. So hopefully he gets his website in here. Now, if you want to send a recurring list of listings out to them, I'm going to show you how to do that next. But we want to finish the Zapier up. Okay, so everything's fine with this right now as far as I'm concerned. We set this up. Now that we have it done, we got to grab the flow, the trigger, right? And so we're going to go up here and click on trigger, and we're going to copy this trigger URL right here. Okay, it's copied. Now we're going back over to Zapier. We're going to finish the webhook up. All right, so Webhooks by Zapier. You're going to look for that. You're going to click on this. We already know it's Webhooks. Sorry about the construction noise outside. I've got work going on. We're going to go to post, and we're going to go to continue. And we're going to wait for it to customize. And then we're going to plug the URL in right here, okay? Now, we want to leave this as form. We've already got test leads that have come through up here. All right, I'm not done because I want to come up here and I actually want to pull in some tests. So I'm going to go to find data and I'm going to get some more samples in. I think this ad has already been running, so I want to actually get some humans in here. I think it'll work. We'll see how it goes. And let's see if we can get a sample pulled in. Hopefully it'll work fine. There was a pulled in sample that I pulled in on another one 17 minutes ago. So, but this sample, actually this probably will work, but there it goes. Okay, so it's pulled in 2 seconds ago. This should be a more recent sample. And let's see what happens. We'll just see what happens, okay? All right, so I'm done with the samples. Now I want to come in here and go back down here, all right? Now, we've gone in and we've added that, right? And so our next thing is we've got to then put in the forms. This isn't done yet, so we need to come back and put in the form information. So let's get that in. So what we have to do is let's go back up and start at the beginning. We're going there. We're going to the post, right? We're going to post, and we're going to continue. And then we're going to go at this form, which we've already slapped that in, right? Now that we've got the test pulled in, I hope it works. There should be somebody. Look, there's actually somebody in here now because I ran the test. So now what we're going to do is pull in we're going to match up the fields. We have email, so we're going to go email. And this, now you have to go to the Zapier training that we have in here, Zapier integration training, to pull up the table that we have in the system. And so the table is going to, the form field table is in there. You print it out, okay? And this data now is going to be transferred in, okay? And I highly recommend that you pull up that table and keep it printed on your desk, because you're matching up the field for the email, and we're going to type in email because that's exactly what we need. Now let's see what else we have that's in this form. I don't know because this isn't my ad. I'm just going in. First name's pulling in, so we're going to go first name. Right, this is matching up with the table. And last name is pulling in. First name, last name, okay? And we're going to type in last name, okay? And then the next, what else is pulling in? What else do they ask in the form? You want to get everything out that you're asking. Oh, ask for a phone number. So we are going to be sure that we opt in the number at this point, you guys. So we got to be sure we're going to do it. My lesson for you is, if you watch that training, is to pull in the phone into 3, okay? So you got a couple steps. This is going to line up in there, but then you have to opt them in at this point. They've already opted into the whole thing because they signed up on the form, right? So the next thing we're going to do is phone 3, and then we're going to go phone 3, text opt-in. Again, this is on your on your forms. You're going to put a 1 here, which is going to opt them in. Okay, next step is going to be, we need to tell it that it is a mobile number so the system knows this. So we're going to go phone 3 note, right? And we're going to tell the system it's a cell number. So you're going to just type in cell right here. It'll match up in there, okay? So these 3 things are the things you have to do with the phone number, because we opt them in over here, okay? Because there's too many. You have 4 spots in your contact area for phone numbers, and good, okay? What else did we ask in the form? Was there anything else? So we pulled in the important stuff, okay? So there's nothing else in here that I care about. There's not. This might have been something that you were assigning a campaign from LionDesk or something before, I don't know, but there's nothing else. We got it all right? So I'm just going to delete this last one because we don't need it, okay? We're just going to get rid of it, okay? All right, that is it, really. That's all we have to do. Now we're going to go to continue, right? And we're going to go test and continue. And then you can see it's turned green. So that means now that's doing that, and then you shouldn't have to touch your Smart Alto, I don't think. But let me see, I'm not really sure where it's pulling the information in, but it looks like it's still working. So let me just be sure. Smart Alto, it's pulling in from Facebook. So I don't have to worry, because if it was saying it was pulling in from LionDesk, then we would have to deal with building a new one of these. And since it's not, all it's doing is it's not just pulling in here and going into EngageMore, but it's pulling in here and going down into here as well, okay? So I think we can actually edit the name of this. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can rename this. Yeah, so we're going to call it To Engage More, right? Engage More. I like my capital in here. So now we're done editing that. So we've renamed it. Okay, cool. Now we think it's good and ready to go. Let's turn it on down here. You can't see, but I am hitting it on down here. It's underneath here. It just clicked on. Okay. Let's turn it on and let's see if it works. Okay, so it's on for now. I'm going to shut it off when I'm done. I just want to see if it's working. So we're going to go back into his account. And that girl's name was, I forgot actually. Let's go in and see if it shows up. It might take a second or 2 to show up. There's a lead. I don't know what it is. I'm going to check. Look at that. Beautiful. It works just lovely. Now let's go into her account and see what's going on. Inside here now, you can see the campaign flow has been turned on, right? Everything came in, it triggered on beautifully, okay? The other thing I'm going to suggest you do is you turn on another flow. You can actually add another flow to this if you want to by turning on the recurring campaign, which is going to drive him back. Now, we can't do it with him because he doesn't have a website, but if he did, I would also be setting up a trigger to do the recurring listing campaign where you would clone this and you're going to send them to go look at deals, right? You've got an email here that's set up to drive them back to your site. And I, in this case, would change the email and everything and the timing and go every 3 days. Change the email and the subject, like replace the email basically right here and send them over to your site. But you can go look at the email. And then then what's going to do is it's going to wait a day, and because you're already sending them the list in the original campaign, right? What you're going to do here, it's going to wait a day, or you can even say wait 3 days because you just sent it that way. Thing here, this isn't like real time like the MLS. So what this is doing is actually waiting a few days, and then it's sending them over to your site to look at the most recent listings. Make sure you're going to, like, let's just say this is his site, like the results are going to show up down here. What you want the results to do are be the most recent sales at the top. So if you have the ability to say, I want the results to be recent sales, then that's what you want it to do. The result's going to be recent sales, that link. And really when you change that, so it shows up most recent, or most recent, not sales, but recent homes on the market. It's a little slow because I'm videotaping. I think my internet is bad. But so, yeah, I don't know why it's not pulling a list. But you get what I'm saying. Make sure that the results are showing recent sales at the top, because that way every day they get it, it'll be there, right? So in the flow, you can then take this trigger, get it set up, grab this trigger, right? Copy it, and then go back into here and add one more of these. You're going to do exactly the same thing, right? We're going to go to put another webhook in, right? Webhooks by Zapier. Is this magnificent or what? And then we're going to go down here and get the post, hit continue, and then this is the recurring listing flow that's going to also go on at the same time. And you're going to do the same thing here, right? But it will turn a second flow on. But anyway, you get where I'm going with this? Oh, it definitely works. You know why? Because that flag is part of that campaign. So I know that it's working because that flag, this one is part of the original Facebook one, and here is the flag that is for the recurring. So I know it's working. And so that's awesome. So you got 2 campaigns running right now. This is amazing. Now you're going to start getting activity, right? Okay. So there we go. That's how we do it. Now, what you have to do if you're going to switch over to EngageMore from your other CRM, whichever one it is that you're using with William's course, you're going to want to make a decision when you're going to shut the Facebook or the Lion Desk one off, or whichever other CRM you're using, okay? But right now, this is set up right here. I'm actually going to shut this one off because it's running this one too, and what's going to happen, they're going to get 2 sets of campaigns. I have no idea what campaign is running out of the Lion Desk one. I can turn it on, but I really want him, he's got to deal with his website issue first. So I'm going to, because these are so much better campaigns. So I'm going to shut this off right now, and we'll let him know when he's ready. He'll want to turn that one off and leave this one on, okay? And it'll pop to the top, okay? I think that does it. This is amazing. I love this stuff. Let's do some more. All right, good luck with your Facebook ad campaign, all right? We'll talk to you soon. Bye.